Welcome to dia.log, Game Matters podcast.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
What do you expect? A long ramble about random stuff that go on for like 2 to 5 minutes? Not
No,
this episode, nah.
not every so yeah. No, you guys missed out on us talking about how Todd Howard is the only hope for Xbox, but no, you won't hear that in this podcast today. Maybe not.
Maybe later,
Maybe later.
because this episode is the episode number 137, but also the not E3 2023 edition.
Yeah.
Special
Because
episode,
E3 cancelled.
and not for the
Yeah.
first time.
Mhm.
Jeff Keighley has his Summer Game Fest, but also there are plenty of other, let's say, game showcases, game reveals, video game
Yeah.
live streams that technically not part of the Summer Game Fest umbrella. So we decided to just call it not E3 2023. It covers all of the summer video game events, and there are
Yeah.
many. And at the time of this recording, we are recording on June 16. It should be all of the major streams should have concluded, even the periphery ones, like even the RGG summit that suddenly appeared, that's all concluded by now. So we should be able to talk about it now. But before that, let's introduce the panel. Over there's Daniel.
Oh.
On the other side is Anan.
It's a
And I am Amirul Mekronos Ashraf. And let's go on with the show. And how many shows were there? There were more than the main shows. There were even like other smaller shows that are also interesting, but maybe we gonna gloss over it. We'll be talking about the big guns first, right?
mhm.
Hmm. So let's start with technically the one that jumped the gun because they thought summer starts 2 weeks earlier. They thought summer starts in May. It was the PlayStation Showcase.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much to talk about because I think most of us already by now have already like absorbed everything that was about to announce. But I just want to bring an interesting observation, which is, boy howdy, Sony really pushing all the multiplayer games on this one, huh? Have you guys noticed that?
Mm, yeah, it's a license. It was half of it were like live services games. So I wonder which game are they style are they pivoting next?
I mean, they did say they wanted to do multiplayer stuff, and this specific show is, I guess, where they put the poll on it and say multiplayer. Like,
Yes,
what was the big single player game on there? Spider-Man,
Spider-Man. Yeah, that's
and
about
that's
it.
it. Yeah. Or I forgot something.
From
Because
what
it.
I've checked, yeah.
Mm,
From what I've checked is from this very nice app website called gamesrecap.io. They compiled everything into one list. Besides Spider-Man, I think there was one more. What was that game? It's something to do with uh about bears, maybe?
hmm?
Oh no, it's not bears. It's foam. Oh no, that's also multiplayer. Okay, never mind. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you were gonna say about Snake or something.
Oh yeah, yeah, a snake. Yeah, I forgot which animal it was. Yeah. It is a snake.
Yeah, which saying a lot about the announcement that is Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. Is that the game? Yeah, it's
Yes,
supposed to.
Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake dash Snake Eater.
Uh, but yeah, it was not the big announcement as one expected because all of the runtime feels like they're voting for. Look at this multiplayer game. Look at this new studio we just bought. and we have them make multiplayer games.
I mean, yeah, single play games like do make the money, but the multiplayers make people stay. As in,
Uh,
they're gonna play every day.
yeah, the
The
actual money
money,
pit.
yeah, the
Speak
actual money fountain. Money pit.
The money fountain.
to the fact that they made one game literally about stealing money.
Oh yeah, what was that? It was the cringy name.
Fair games
Yeah, Fair Games.
with a
Yes.
dollar sign.
Oh,
Not to be confused with Creative Assembly's other game that's also about robbing people.
Uh,
Or
is this
or the
like
raping
a
people game.
payday?
Yeah, and also Rapid is also coming up with their own new game this year as well.
you have a
Wait,
payday. You have Bungie announcing their own extraction looter. I forgot the
Yep.
genre name again. Extraction
extraction
shooter.
shooter.
Extraction Shooter, yes.
They've turned Marathon into the latest trend of live service games. Okay, let's see
Yeah.
where it goes. At least it's Bungie. They have a track record with multiplayer games. Even if they
They're
made,
good multiplayers.
hmm,
They,
if they make games that we don't like, someone will still like them somewhere. uh, yeah. Heck, Square Enix even announced their own multiplayer game here,
Oh
and it's
yeah,
sort
the
of,
phone game.
yeah. If somebody there at Square Enix thought that paint is very flat, why not we give it volume? You know what? Pump air into them, and we get foam stars. My god, that name. Apparently, some people say it's good. They were hands on for that game at the Summer Game Fest, and from what I've skimmed around the internet, hands on impressions were decent. So that's
Right.
intriguing. Okay, let's go. A glitzy pop Splatoon.
hyperpop split.
Well,
Yeah,
Hyperpowers too, my god.
not hyper yet, but it's pop lah. It's
yeah.
popping.
Popping foam, popping foam balloons.
Uh,
I
okay,
mean,
move.
yeah, it's like a 3D Splatoon, I guess.
Yeah, and the foam itself does actually like change the battlefield. You can climb on the foam, so
Ooh, so it's solid foam.
and
Ooh.
you can.
Can you have a sound deadening foam?
Oh,
You know what?
no.
That's a good idea to implement. That would be an interesting sound design challenge. Yeah, you basically
Mhm.
can like silently snipe someone from the back without them hearing that you're coming because but the gameplay shows like, oh, you can surf around the foam, so when there are elevation you can jump, so it is kinetic, like similar to like Splatoon, but they are not like
Mhm.
literally copy paste. They have their own static, they have their own gimmicks.
Okay,
Could be
I'll
interesting
buy.
lah.
Mhm.
But Square Enix is always 50-50 when it comes to their new IPs. It could be Balan
Yeah,
Wonderworld. It could be Balan
I mean,
Wonderworld.
okay. Let's be fair. It looks quite polished, so I think you can at the very least have some success level instead of like Balan Wonderworld, which turns out to be like I don't know, fraud, the actual financial fraud.
No, they
Kan.
need can they like maybe this is how they balance their checks. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna have two blockbuster game this year, and we need one stinker to balance it out at least.
I mean, at least as Square Enix do, they always like try something new. There's
Mhm.
always
That's
the
the positive lah.
even though it doesn't stick, at least we can say that they are trying.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough lah. Let's see where it goes lah. I'm not totally sold, but I'm not like what you
Like we are
say.
not the demographic, so we're not the target.
Something like I'll watch from afar. Maybe it'll catch my eye later, but for now, let's see where it goes. And that should be the signal to go to the other big show, which is the Summer Game Fest. The Summer Game Fest
Yo,
opening. I cannot remember what happened at summer game.
It is like a fever dream that has Nicolas Cage for some reason.
Oh, that Nicolas Cage interview. Look, at least he's a gamer lah. I'll allow it, but
Mhm.
Alright, so
yeah.
it started out with a gameplay of Mortal Kombat 1. That's I remember.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that looks good actually.
Yeah, and then it dives bomb. Nose dives, small dive bomb. Yeah, nose dives into chaotic mess.
Like they announced like big stuff first. Oh yeah, they announced they showed a very little bit of Alan Wake 2. Now that I
Yeah, just like
remember about
a
it.
5 minute to just get a gun. Oh, that's it. Stop.
Yeah, yeah. Just show that oh yeah, that's the game happen. Inventory there's a puzzle thing.
Inventory puzzle. Yeah,
Hmm. Survival horror. They say they want to make a survival horror game. Let's see lah.
and
What
you cannot
else?
forget. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, and you cannot forget our boy Joryu. Definitely not a character that we haven't met before. The past 7 games, no, sir. In the Like a Dragon
Oh
series,
yeah, like a dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. Yeah. Nah, yeah, that game got a release date on that show. Sure.
and new
Mm,
character, wink
mm.
wink, hint
New,
hint.
new character from what I've heard, he has two styles. So this is the beat 'em up one, the action game one, not a turn-based one. So you're going back to your Yakuza 6 and Lost no, on the Judgment series style of gameplay lah. Two different
Beat
styles though. You can be the Yakuza stance or the agent stance. Why is the agent stance has this secret agent using something like a spider web and then throws grenades? Hmm. What else? After that, and before we go
Ironically
to
enough,
the
Ironically enough, the next one is Spider-Man 2 released it.
okay, okay, this is a weird thing that has been going on within all these shows, yeah, because they announce something, but they don't announce all the details. They hold it up for something. Like Spider-Man 2 showed a lot of gameplay at the PlayStation showcase, and then
But no
just
release
decided
date.
to like, no release date. Why? Because at the Summer Game Fest, we get that release date announcement.
Papa
Ah,
Jeff paid for the release date. He
ah.
paid. The man paid for the release date, man. Come on, there is an extra 10K in the bag easily.
I mean, I get the marketing sense of it for by having more exposure doing it this way, but I don't like this trend. Especially when the other reveal is just like, oh yeah, this is the last piece of the puzzle that we are just like hanging on you. It's not like
Yeah. So, oh yeah, here we go. Here's the release date. All to start now. Have fun. Blah, bye.
I rather have it the other way around, which is what Ubisoft did. Because remember, Ubisoft also showed something here, and also on the PlayStation Showcase.
Oh yeah, the Prince of Persia game. Yeah, that the 2D, the Return to Basics Prince of Persia.
They showcase a few games ahead of their own showcase, which we will get to later. But yeah, Ubisoft had something to show on Summer Game Fest that, as you said, that Prince of Persia game. But apparently, it got some flack because of the characters looking weird.
Alah, it's a 2D game. You need. I don't want it to be flat, guys. Come on.
I mean, have they seen Prince of Persia 2008? That's also weird design. Give
Have
it
you
time
seen
lah.
what happened? Have you seen what happened to the remake? To the Prince of Persia remake?
Look, the Prince of Persia camp is such a big concept these days. It could be Jake Gyllenhaal or a emo obsessed with the dark powers kind of Prince of Persia. It could be between those ranges. So seeing the Prince of Persia in this form with that fade hair and
One
that kind of
hair.
specific hairstyle again.
The
The dreadlocks. That's the
dreadlocks.
word
Yeah,
I'm looking.
The Lucio style dreadlocks
Yeah,
essentially.
Lucius like dreadlocks, faded hair on the side, then It's fine. The prince can be anything these days.
He's the prince. He can, if you literally mock him, he has the right to execute you. You are executed for dissing the drip. I'm sorry.
Uh, at least it looks better than the much maligned remake that is, I guess, in development hell right now. Oh, man.
That now about to be beaten, about to be the only I guess the second place in development since another game within Ubisoft is about to release after all this time.
I don't know. Does that game also have a release date? Not yet, kan?
But well, we get there when we get there. Okay.
Okay, we get there. We don't want to go forward too far, like Ubisoft themselves.
Yeah.
I think we should cap off Summer Game Fest hazy fever dream with the most haziest fever dream of all.
Oh, Final Fantasy.
Yep. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth.
The,
The,
the I don't know how to begin. Okay, like, huh? What? The start with the huh, what, and then at the end, like, huh?
I like that the response of this game compared to remake was the response for remake was, yeah, Final Fantasy 7, and this response is like,
Huh?
Final Fantasy 7? Question mark, question mark.
Nani? Final Fantasy?
For context, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth may or may not be a faithful remake to Final
Aha.
Fantasy 7, which
Tetsuya Nomura has pulled the rug. Essentially.
so this should be a spoiler, but by now since it's already like open to public, we
Uh,
should know it because of the existence of this game. By the end of Final Fantasy 7 remake, we know that the word remake is technically not true because they are insinuating that the next game may or may not take a different path forward, and we've seen it here. Like it starts with a weird fake news report of, oh, look at the Avalanche gang on the hospital
on the
getting
stretcher,
in
yeah, on the stretcher.
is getting into the ambulance. Yeah, what the hell? And then they are fine. And then they talk about Cloud being here or not here, which I think is technically a plot point for Final Fantasy 7 back then, because the whole bit of Cloud is not actually the person that you think of, yada yada yada. But also it might be messing around with the timeline. I don't know now. Like people who know their Final Fantasy 7 lore also kind of like some characters that should not have appeared here. I think they talk about the one of the Turks, the people with the suit in suits.
Yeah, the suits guys. I think it's on the Ever Crisis, the previous game, man. What's it called?
Basically the Final Fantasy 7 version of Organization 13.
Which was just briefly mentioned in the original game. Tapi now, oh, why are you
Oh.
all here?
Mm. You're not canon here, but you're
Not
here.
Canada, but you're now here, huh?
Which, by the way that the plot is unfolding, would have been a proper plot point rather than no, we just gonna like what you call it, not embellish, enrichen the plot by bringing in new plot lines, and I think this more likely to be let's mess around with the timeline plot point rather than
Oh
no, this is
no,
just creative
you give
liberties.
no. I know why. I know why. You gave Tetsuya Nomura too much power. Now he's cooking too much.
Of course,
He's he's gone into the Kingdom Hearts trends, and he's working on Kingdom Hearts 4 as well.
you let him cook. We let him cook. As a
I,
reference to that meme that actually was originated by a Kingdom Hearts image.
yeah.
We let him cook, and this is what we got. He cooking, man. He definitely
No,
cooking.
no, he's working on both games, Kingdom Hearts 4 and the new Final Fantasy 7 remake rebirth. And then the script switch halfway through.
And you know how we know that Square Enix is cooking too much for Rebirth? they're making a selling point for the game having be
What
in
is?
2 discs. It's a selling point. I mean, it was a surprise when I think like games like Red Dead Redemption 2 suddenly is shipped with 2 discs. One is for the install because I think that game was nearing 100 gigs or something like that.
Oh my god.
And
Yeah.
the PS4 Blu-ray discs were like limited to around 50 gigs or something, so they have to
Yep.
like put. And now I think the PS5 discs are bigger
120.
capacity, right?
120. It should be better.
Ye-
What are they cooking? Who
Yet
let
we
this
have
man cook?
two. We have 2 discs.
It's
So
120. Yeah, it should be 120 gigs out per disc, the new Blu-rays.
so
So who let this man cook too much?
the install size, how big will be? Will it take like uh how much is it? Like 200 gigs just for
Oh
this
my god.
game? Could it reach 200?
Rest
Are we
in, rest in peace to those who have the PS5 digital lah. Have fun waiting a day.
Call of Duty has been beaten, or at least will
The
be
Madman.
beaten. Let's see
Yeah,
lah.
will be
Wait,
beaten. Let's see next year. Will be beaten by the Madman himself, Nomura-san.
Rebirth. I mean that name is already ominous.
Your SSD might need a rebirth after this.
God damn it.
Oh my god.
And on that note, I think we can move to the next show.
Yeah, we should move to the next show. The next show is the Green Team, the team from Seattle, the Giant Killers, so called. Apostrophe, they are literally a $1 billion company.
Uh, it's the case of the iceberg not showing. Yeah, it's literally an iceberg. You just show the tip,
Xbox.
the
Xbox.
iceberg.
And then down there, we have Azure, we have Microsoft Office, we have Microsoft Teams, we have Microsoft Windows,
And don't forget Bing.
and Bing. Oh my, everything is down there. Yeah,
Uh,
Xbox. Xbox.
yeah, Xbox Game Showcase.
Fine. This they were they. If this was a E3, we think they have won. They have won the conference game.
Yeah.
Even without the 20-minute direct Starfield direct.
Oh, it's not 20, it's 45.
45. Oh, it's 45.
Yeah.
Wow, that actually moves just fast. That means we were enjoying that then. Okay.
Yeah, it was really long.
Wow, thank you, Mr. Todd. Can we have more? I wouldn't mind hearing another hour.
Oh my god, sweet little. Let's start with the biggest whiplash of a reveal. Because
Yes.
at that time we have no idea is it gonna is it a new game or is it the game that was announced? Because it was just like a trip to questionably Hawaii, or maybe it was a trip.
Yeah, just suddenly we see our boy, Mr. Ichiban Kazuka, butt ass naked.
Somewhere on the beach. And a lady was screaming.
Everybody is speaking English as well.
There's a guy that just says, "Surf's up, dude," in the most surfer accent that you can have. Hence the USA connotation. Like, how does this bum ass person wakes up in the middle of not even in the middle, on the side of a beach somewhere way off from Japan, butt naked?
Somewhere USA.
Somewhere USA, yeah, probably. I hope there's a town called Somewhere USA.
The best part. This is after during the recent RGG live stream kan. I don't know if the director said it as a compliment or as a threat. Or there will be more butt ass naked Kazuga.
Yes.
No. Do I label that as a compliment or as a threat?
You know what? We have enough. There needs to be more naked men.
God, we need more
We need to
we
we
need
need
more naked Japanese men. Yes, betul.
we need to balance it out. The fan service have to go both ways, or rather
Ah,
all the ways that can be serviced.
Do we have any other instances of Japanese men getting naked in games?
honestly, now this is not even the first time in the Like a Dragon series. It wasn't it? Yeah. Remember
Hmm.
the Kiryu and Machiba fight? No. It's their counterpart that they play in the Ishin game. Yes, in the Ishin game.
Oh, it
Uh,
was the
so,
recent one. Okay.
so see, this is new. This is the second time actually.
And also on that recent game, there's a little Junken Pawn mini game where it's technically strip poker, strip Junken Pawn.
Yes.
So yeah, this game is going somewhere. Also, Like a Dragon, it is now called Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth with the eight
Yeah.
being turned sideways, so it looks like an infinity symbol for some reason.
Oh, you
So
gotta
I
keep that grind. They know. Gotta keep that grind.
I have no idea how capitalism will be involved in this game's plotline, but I am interested. Also, you've mentioned about the RGG summit tu kan, Daniel.
Hmm?
They also show another extra cutscene where a person that must not be named. maybe
Yep.
maybe it's Joryu, but I don't know. He looks like a K-pop star at this time of for this game. They were having a heart-to-heart moment with Kasuga. Basically, it confirms that the main party members are still around. So Namba is there, Adachi is still there, Saiko more importantly is there, and apparently they were talking about romantic relationships, which is interesting. Which also confirms Kiryu is not a virgin anymore. He has
Damn.
experience. Has
The
experience with the
man versus
ladies.
him, but against ladies.
Hmm.
There is a lot of equivalent exchange.
And also Kasuga has confirmed has a canon relationship now. You remember you can romance all those girls back in Like a Dragon? Oh, there's a one true pairing. Or maybe it isn't. I don't know. It looks like it doesn't go off, but we'll see. Interesting plot line, to say the least. But it still has said nothing about what should we expect. This game is coming like in early 2024, probably February or March. So still have no idea what's going on. We haven't seen the weird turn-based combat yet. We haven't seen the man's imaginative thoughts.
Intrusive thoughts.
Yeah, intrusive thoughts. And how he perceives everything like a Dragon Quest. Like a Dragon Quest. Always a good fun for that. Yeah, looking forward to that. It's not on Game Pass, interestingly, despite it being an Xbox announcement. But we'll see.
But Gaiden is good. I think Gaiden should be.
Isn't it? No, because I feel like a lot of the games that was announced
Oh no, yeah, that's not part of it. Yeah. So yeah, it's not
on
part of it. It's just Sega. Nah, here you go, bro.
yeah, there's a few Sega games that was announced on the Xbox Game Showcase that was not a Game Pass game. That hence there were no announcements saying all of these games are coming to Game Pass starting like last year. Last year was a good one. They showed everything, all of them are coming to Game Pass.
I'll come in the Game Pass. Oh
Hmm.
no,
Not this year.
definitely.
Not this year. But I would pay money for Like a Dragon, so that's fine.
Yeah, that's
Speaking
fine.
speaking of other games, Pretend to be Shocked. Atlas has
Oh
a
yeah, the
remake.
Persona. Yeah, the Persona 3 remake. Persona 3 Reload. That's their name. It was
It,
announced here.
they
Yeah,
they aim for a Persona 5 style gameplay, I believe.
it looks nice. Yeah, it looks nice.
The UI sound, very much looks like a Persona game now. Like they went heavy animated. Like pause screen and then suddenly I think the protagonist coming down into the ocean or something like that. It looks whoa high art style.
Mm.
Yeah, the graphics definitely more resonates to people who play P5.
Yep.
Which is a huge upgrade considering how Persona 3 in the original form, as everyone have been rudely awakened to when it was on Game Pass and recently released on all platforms, has aged not well.
Spaghetti, the spaghetti code.
That game has not aged well. That looks like a very early PS2 game.
Yeah. Big bad.
And because it is a
Oversized.
very early PS2 game. What do you mean? It is a early PS2 game. Of course, it will look like that. It's from its time, by the way.
Like, but in a way that Persona 4 hasn't aged terribly. That's because they have a new port for that kan. Persona 4 Golden, which tidies it up in a way. But P3, as it was, is like that. It is like, I think they've also mentioned about adding a few more quality of life stuff like you can control your party members.
Mm.
So stuff like that sounds like should be standard, but it was not yet standardized for P3.
Dang.
What's
Next
your thought
on the
about
oh,
the content
uh,
not necessarily have all the stuff from other P3 releases? Because you know there's P3 Fest, there's P3 P, and those have different content, and I don't think all of them are coming to reload.
no, yeah, it's just PT and a bunch of FES accept the answer for some reason. No, basically the post game. Because
Bet
here's
on them,
someone.
bet
Yeah.
on them selling it as post game DLC.
Oh no, they've learned from apa SMTE4 recent one on the Switch. Do that.
Okay, then now we can move on.
Yeah. And what else? Tatika, not that bad. It's another. It's this. Is the third spin-off for Persona 5. If you count apa Scramble and that dancing game.
Mhm.
And more anime chess. I agree. Okay, moving on. Apa lagi? Apa lagi?
Oh yeah,
Uh,
Metaphor,
Metaphor.
Refantasia.
Yeah, it is actually Project Re Fantasy early on.
Yep, from Studio Zero, which is the new team that is comprised of most of the big names that led the development of Persona 5. Cannot remember all of the names on top of my head, but the director is there, the composer is there, and at least one
Shoji
more
Meguro.
person. Yeah.
Shake yeah.
Yeah. The fun bit is that looking at the game on the first trailer kan, it looks like this looks like an SMT game, but with Persona elements. And then we later found out, no, this is a new IP. Oh,
Macam
I guess the giveaway is they don't have all the Shin Megami Tensei monsters.
they have been unshackled. They are free.
They don't have to include Mara and Jack Frost anymore.
Hee hee hee.
They can move away from Incubus, Devil, and whatever else. That will always keep on appearing on all the SMT games, which includes
Yeah.
Persona.
I mean, hopefully this is gonna be like a fresher, as in more new stuff instead of okay. Persona is a spin-off of SMT. Don't make this a spin-off of a spin-off.
Soda. A spin-off of a spin-off of a spin-off. The three-layer T of JRPGs.
Yeah, that's the worry lah. But you can see the Persona fingerprints all over. The UI is
The
as we
UI
see
is Persona 5.
is extravagant. I think that's the word. A lot of like big bold colors and big bold artworks being showed here and there. All of them moving when you click and go in and out of the menu. So
The hub will, I think, like looking at the video footage, the hub will also like the whispers you can hear as well. That's also from P5.
itulah. Hopefully the elements of Persona that makes it here in Metaphor is mostly for to give it like a foundation stuff. And it's not like we just making another Persona game without the teaming. Hopefully there's something else they add in. Yeah, that sounds interesting. Is it next year or still no release date for Meta 4? I forgot.
And next year, 2024, for every console, even the Switch, for some reason you got. So that's interesting.
Oh, that's one coming to Switch.
Yeah, but not
Ah,
T3 Reload. That's weird. Yeah, that's
ah,
weird.
that's interesting.
For all console.
For all
Except
consoles.
Soldier console.
Yeah,
No
rest
love
in
for the
pepper,
Soldier console. Come on,
rest in
man.
pepperonis.
uh,
All those console Soldier Boy made useless now.
Okay, what's next?
Oh yeah, this game that's coming to Game Pass soon as well. It has the most bonkers punya apa? I guess premise. It is a roguelike. But three players. Yeah, one roguelike.
so you know how roguelikes usually have like procedural generated maps, yeah, and so it always gonna be a different experience, yeah. So these folks decided that, you know what? Let's add another layer of the randomness. Online matchmaking. So yeah, 33 players go into they call it sort of like a raid
Oh my god.
and survive whatever is being offered there.
From
I can see like it becoming like macam what I'm playing Diablo 4 right now and the raid motion. Yeah, that one. Tapi everyone on the map is going to attack the same boss at the same time.
Yeah. The best at its best it should be feeling like an MMO where everybody is like going after a world boss. Everybody is just working together like fighting a world boss. But usually those kind of games, they kind of like instance you to just a boss fight. And if it's a puzzle or a full raid, it's not gonna be that big of a player base. Like, oh, maybe we're gonna be a team of 6 or a team of 5, maybe 10, but not 33. So that's interesting. The fun bit is just seeing, okay, of the 33 player that has been matchmake into this instance, how many will survive room 2? Who will make through the next wave?
Hmm.
If somehow everybody survives, okay, this is gonna be a good run. We can do this. We can win the boss. We can beat the boss.
Boleh ni. The
Hmm.
actual boleh ni.
Uh, that's gonna be a fun. And it's especially should be fun because it's on Game Pass. So everybody who have a subscription could just like go on and try it out and see. Just see the hecticness. It should be fun on day one while servers are hot and maybe gonna break. But I don't.
Record. The world's first 33-man raid. Final
Mm,
Fantasy 14 in shambles.
I don't know if it can like keep a community or not, but we'll see lah. But at least the novelty
First
of
week, the
uh
first week will be fun.
the first week is just like everybody like checking it out, and that would be fun.
Next up, this one game. Uh, I've never heard of this developer before, Mac. It's called Bethesda. Isn't that a place in Maryland or something like that?
Yeah, I've heard of a town called Bethesda.
They're making a new game, a new indie game called Starfield. I
Oh,
hope they
yeah.
have the utilities to make it one of the best games of all time, given the scale.
Hey, look, they could reach the stars, but can they at least fall on the moon? Because
I
my God, this game is gonna be it at least for comparing to other Bethesda game studios games, and it's a return to form. It feels like, oh yeah, Todd Howard and company is going ambitious again. And by ambitious, they are going where no developer are going, and they are just gonna hodgepodge whatever solution to get there using duct tape and whatever they have in their back pocket. because you'll know Starfield will eventually be buggy and weird. I mean, some of the quirkiness have been baked into that presentation. You know the old bug of Skyrim where the giants will whack you one shot and you'll die and you like floating out in far into the sky again, which
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
bug, which was fixed, but fans scream for it to be a feature, so they put back in. And in Starfield, and Starfield, because it's in outer space, give them in-law reasons to have bodies of dead
Yeah,
people when they are shot to death. They can also fly into the heavens, and the
yeah,
camera
because
also follows it. When you see in the presentation, they know what they're doing.
no gravity in space. Yeah, a body will fly like that. Yes.
Like they embrace the bugs, but at least they don't show the jankier stuff, which is understandable lah. They want to show their best foot forward. And what else that they show? Mr. Todd Howard, as always, is very good at selling you a game. He's very enthusiastic and he's very earnest in his passion, which leads to people thinking that he is like uh, putting out those sweet, sweet little lies lah. As always.
Sweet little lies.
Tell
Uh,
me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
Yeah
Flavor
uh,
lah.
Mac.
Yeah.
the fact
Like
that
yeah.
as always lah, the way Todd Howard emphasizes that they are obsessed with foods. Yeah, yeah, we're obsessed with foods. Those kinds like the way he presents himself, he has the risk lah. He specs in charisma. He has gone all through the speech checks. That's how he built his character. He's a diplomat. He puts a trait called diplomat, just like his Starfield character, which you can hear during the presentation. Because when you go back into the ship, you have your companion, robot companion. I think they call it the Vasco, and the Vasco can say your name. So you hear Captain Howard in that presentation, which also implies, oh, this old tech where they have pre, how do you say it? They have voice lines for specific names that this robot character will announce.
It's like in Fallout 4, what's the
Ye-
name of the robot again?
yes, it's
Yep.
basically that tech. So
Mm-hmm.
all the names I hope will return, including the joke ones. Was it a fart face or what? That was
Mr.
also
Face,
announced.
Mr. Face, Mr. Fucker.
Yeah, even the terrible ones are announced, and you know what? Okay lah, give him a
I mean,
hand.
if they want to put like a Rick and Morty uh, Easter egg, Mr. Poopy Butthole,
Boleh, yeah, can. They
if
have
they
the
put it there,
they have the
that'd be
developer
awesome.
inside the Xbox too, so yeah, they can.
We'll see lah. What do you guys think about the word Nessa Punk?
That's a weird way to call it. That's a weird way to
Honestly,
call it.
there's probably a better word. I mean, okay, in aesthetics design, someone already like put names on it
Yep.
rather than relying on aesthetics. So things like from Aliens, the Aliens movie, that there's probably an aesthetic.
Yeah, Fi something they call it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Cassette
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
something.
fight.
I don't vibe with NASA Punk. I don't vibe with NASA Punk.
Same.
Nessa Punk is just a shorthand way to just sell to the masses lah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean the NASA comparisons you can see even in the graphic design of Starfield. It's 70s retro futurism.
Oh yeah,
Which
yeah,
is
that's
weird considering Fallout is technically also retro futurism, but the
Yeah,
way
true.
it's the
like
50s retro
ah
futurism.
It's the 50, yeah, 50s.
and this one is 70s because you know it's the era when NASA has that worm logo. So you see the colors aligning like that way and the use of fonts being very, how do you say, it's bold but still not it doesn't like empower. It's just nice to look at lah basically. It does gives you that optimist feeling that yeah we can go to the moon kind of.
Mhm.
That how it's not like today's minimalism. Today's
No,
minimalism
no,
is a
no.
little bit cool. That one feels warm, if that makes any sense to you.
Yeah, I mean,
Aesthetics
yeah,
is a weird way to talk because you
it's
have to
feel,
find
it's a
words.
feel.
Definitely feel. But other than that, also interesting. Outside of the lo-fi stuff, there was also just literal space cowboys or in Starfield with the
Oh
Mm.
yeah,
cowboy hat.
yeah. The not at all Edgewater. No, 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 no. This is not the Outerworlds Edgewater. No, no, sir.
Okay, here's
this is
your guy with the space suit, kan, looking like a NASA astronaut, and then there's the other guy who's also just a human being with a cowboy hat and a dusty jacket,
wait, he just look. I looking back, he does look like Lucas Sim can for Fallout 3 as well.
like Lemao. Uh,
Look at this Lucas Sim looking man.
at least they go hard lah with the different aesthetics that they are throwing around. There's also a cyberpunk aesthetic. There's a cyberpunk world with all the neons. The city is literally called neon.
Neon.
I guess they have to have a on the nose name like River City, I guess. Because it's a city made out of from wreckage of a ship, and the ship is full of rivets.
Hmm.
Betul lah, the feeling I got from that 45-minute spiel is that this game is doing ambitious stuff. It's a matter of will they nail the landing? Like, I'm not sure if the procedural stuff will be interesting enough after 5 hours. Kan? Like
Maybe, yeah,
they
maybe.
show that you can go to the vast galaxy, and a lot of that vast galaxy will be procedurally generated. In terms of, okay, that's why they keep saying like, oh, no, different people will have different experiences when they go to the same planet or something like that, because it's all procedurally generated like that. So I don't know. I'm unless they can have a lot of those weird events, like they tease some of the weird events, like you go into a spaceship and then you can find a spaceship where a grandma is there and you can visit her, hail her, and probably
Cookies, yeah, get cookies, yeah.
probably get some cookies. Uh,
The religious apa macam like the cult of wasteland cult punya tu. But you have a speech check. You can say, "Oh yeah, I'm part of you guys," and then and don't have to pay the fine. Yeah.
if they can have a lot of those like weird instances and it doesn't crop up the same time every time, that they have a lot of different you say radiant quests to use Bethesda parlance, and if they can have a bigger variety of that can somehow make all those thousands of planets feel interesting, maybe it'll work. If not, I'll stick to the mostly curated stuff. There's no point going to the edge of the world, edge of the galaxy to just visit. Oh yeah, this is the same red barren planet that I've seen like 3 times before in the past 5 hours. So that bit is what I'm a bit worried, because we have a good example of promising the galaxy and only to be, oh yeah, just same but different. Say hello to No Man's Sky. What else to say about Starfield?
Nothing, I guess. I mean, just wait for the release, I guess. And
Yeah.
remember, guys, no pre-order.
We'll wait. Let's see. Because it could be Skyrim, or it could be Fallout 4, or worse, Fallout
Yeah.
76.
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, this is mostly focused on single player, I guess. I believe
Yeah, it is just a single player game.
more single
Mm.
player. Okay. How close it will be to, let's say, uh, what was the title again? Outer World. I don't know.
I think by the way Starfield Outer Worlds is more close. Not
Mhm.
close. It's like the scope is smaller.
Smaller
As
scope.
even though you
Right.
said you do go around the galaxy, yeah, but it's just
Mhm.
like more like a Mass Effect in the way that
Mhm.
you basically all the different planets are just like small levels.
Okay.
Where
Right.
Starfield is promising that you can visit all the planets. Some of them even have nothing, but you can still like survey and explore.
Yeah.
So
So it's
that's
gonna be like No Man's Sky.
yeah, it's
The No
closer
Man's
to
Sky plus Fallout plus this plus that.
Yeah, yeah. That's the worrisome part because we have
Mhm.
heard this promise before, and it
Yeah.
didn't turn out because of the overhypeness. It didn't turn
Mhm.
out what we expected.
I mean, if they can nail it, well, especially when it comes to like the planetary exploration and then the flight, maybe the space flight combat, if they can sort of nail it on par with maybe Elite Dangerous or like No Man's Sky, and better than Star Citizen, still unreleased, that would be okay, like great. If they can be better than Star Citizen, then that's okay. Even though they're like completely different genre, but I mean, okay, we can diverge a bit. Star Citizen has been, how do I say, like a cluster fuck a bit because they're aiming too much, they're aiming too high, still not delivering enough. So yeah,
Yeah,
at the very
that
least, Starfield can like scope it in closer, deliver
uh,
something.
that like don't go too far, and that's why I guess that the whole procedural bit. But still,
Mhm.
as the game has to deliver under the core gameplay loop, which is
Exactly.
it seems to be on the right direction. I haven't seen any red flags that I'm just gonna go, oh no! Like, it doesn't feel like that time with Fallout 4 where when they
Hmm.
showcase the new perk system, it
Hmm.
just feels like, oh no, this game is going somewhere that I do not like. And yeah, it turned out that not everyone was a fan of that new special system.
Hmm.
It's a bit weird. Nah, less
Yeah,
RPG in that way.
yeah. I think Starfield will be at the very least decent.
Just
Should be okay.
yeah,
Should be okay.
just don't expect a 60 FPS with no bugs whatsoever kind of game lah. This game is already
Yeah.
confirmed. It's targeting 30 FPS on consoles, which should be
Yeah.
amazing if they can do because of Bethesda track record of their
Yeah.
past games. So
I mean, Bethesda equals bugs. That's like a mantra at this point.
yep. It is like the I've mentioned it before, and they even embrace some of the bugs. Fans want some of the bugs to be features. It's that kind of game. It's a matter of as long as it doesn't corrupt saves, lose your progression, I think it's gonna be fine.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Mm,
And at
true.
least for Starfield, unlike some other Bethesda game that was recently released, Redfall, uh, this game has Microsoft have been like properly supporting them, giving QA stuff from what I heard in interviews lah. So hopefully with the delay, with the extra development time, they Starfield maybe can deliver what it should be. Maybe this
I
will
mean,
be the
sorry, Sister Seller, by the way, because after the direct, reports says that they have like 1,000% jump in sales. I don't
oh
know. Yeah, so
Todd Howard does it again.
the magic, the snake oil thought how it does it again.
Uh, I just hope people don't get disappointed with whatever. I mean that presentation was good on its own, so don't get me wrong. But it's a matter of I just hope that people didn't overboard from the hype.
Hmm.
There's a certain expectation that needs to be managed, or it's No Man's Skies all over again.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, at this point, you can sort of see, okay, if the how do I say, if the marketing is kind of sketchy, overblown, it's usually terrible. It's like Fallout 76, 16 times the detail, blah 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 blah, and then it's like disappointing. Redfall, oh, this is our most ambitious game. Disappointing. Okay.
Hmm.
So yeah, if they tell the players to temper their expectation, then yeah, you can at least expect to be
Yeah.
okay.
Right.
Okay,
So
next.
yep. So we'll now go fast forward then. So we have Fable. Nothing you
Is Peter Molyneux in this again?
No.
no. He's
No, okay.
retired. He's already retired, right? If I'm not mistaken. After
Okay,
Goddess.
thank
And
God.
thankfully, we didn't. Imagine the world where you have Todd Howard and Peter Molyneux sharing their
Oh
sweet little
god.
lives.
No.
Oh,
I mean,
we
I rather have Todd than Peter,
we
Yeah.
honestly.
at least Todd Howard was earnest,
Yep.
and the way he speaks is not like overselling you and stuff. We just like mesmerized by his race. Peter Molyneux promises the world, and even the developers have to like. We didn't even know that we have to do this. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? What the hell?
He's the shrewd businessman.
Oh, that is not even sweet. The little lies will grow into a tree.
He's the
uh,
used car salesman of the gaming world.
I
oh,
discusses with yeah.
so the new Fable, they didn't show much, but they do show that this game it will be a Fable game.
Yep, it is a Fable game.
And by what a Fable game means is that this will be a British RPG. Emphasis on the British, like the dry humors there, the deadpan delivery is there. I mean, they use uh, a British actor as well to do the one of the roles there in the
Mm-hmm.
trailer. And I like the tone is interesting because they set it up for like okay, Fable will be a game where you play as the hero kan. And then all you see within the trailer is just the hero doing shenanigans. Like getting mad at someone calling her a bad word. I cannot remember what bad word was it. But it's a British bad word. And then you can see her roughing up in the bar, in the pub. And then you see her chucking a chicken. Just one guy just say, "Oh, good shot over there, very nicely." Like, okay. And then the trailer ends with a fight with a giant. So Fable will be a game at least, but I haven't seen the puns yet. I need to see the puns. That has yet not to be appearing. Yes, this is Playground Games that's making it. And what I know about Playground Games is that their wordplay is currently
On
masterclass.
top form. Top form.
Hmm. So yeah, what else to be said about Fable?
Mm, no, nothing much. Yeah, nothing much at all.
No lah. I'm just the expectation has been set lah. If we will need to hear more deadpan humor, more British comedy.
Oh.
Yeah, they are allowed to do that. They are just mocking themselves, so it's fine. It doesn't feel terrible. Doesn't feel insensitive. They are mocking themselves. They can do.
Okay, next from ironically enough, they are also the Pegasus are also developer of a Forza game, but not this Forza. This is turn 10's Forza Motorsport 2024 23. Sorry.
Forza Motorsport.
Yes.
The trailer they showed was just nothing actually on the showcase.
Yep, it's just car.
Wow,
Yes.
just car.
A left letter to GM and then cars.
Hmm. How much GM no relation to GM us by the way these General
General Motors, yeah.
Motors. How much did GM pay for that promotion? Like oh man,
Yes.
they have two of their cars as the cover cars.
Easy enough, but two,
Hmm.
they're like, oh. At least give it to another car. Like make it, maybe. I mean, technically betul kan? Technically it's true. It's still this. They still give it to another car because the one car is the Cadillac, the other one is the Corvette.
Yeah, but the parent company is GM.
Ah, yeah, true. Betul. Yeah, true, true. Yeah, the Gran Turismo did both the Mazda and the Porsche. So yeah, true.
I mean Forza Horizon 5 have a dual cover car. They use the Ford Bronco and the Mercedes AMG. One
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
that
So why
it could have
difference?
like two different manufacturers. And by two different manufacturers, I don't just mean two different brands.
Two different brands in the
This
Nissan
car.
Infinity, Toyota
uh,
Lexus.
yeah, it
Well,
feels like a Toyota and a Lexus on the cover car. So that's weird, but whatever lah. But the biggest reveal is actually after the showcase, which is on another stream, the Forza Monthly, which also occurred during this week.
hmm?
They showed the full career mode in terms of how the game will loop. And excuse me, this game is now a car PG?
Right?
What?
Okay, what is a car PG?
Car,
Explain.
car role playing game. It's a role playing game with cars.
You have to level up your car. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, but here's even weirder. The way they describe it is that every car is now a character that you have to level up. And how you level it up, you go around in the career mode. Before you start the race, you can do practice, open practice, free practice. And then you can just drive the car. The car will start stock at level 1. But but as you take on corners after corners, you will get XP and you will level up. And when you level up,
What?
you will gain car points, which is technically skill points. And that car points can be used to unlock upgrades. So now if you want to equip a different muffler first, you need to level up your car to unlock the different mufflers. And then the different kind of mufflers is now like a decision that you have to make on the skill tree. Do you want this kind of muffler or this kind of muffler or something like that lah?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. They even say that each corner is now an enemy.
Um,
But at least the way they measure is interesting because the way you get XP is they calculate a theoretical fastest time for that exact car with that exact setup through the corner. They have that theoretical fastest time, and then they compare it to how you drive it through. So that's how they know that how much you have pushed the car. The closer you get to the theoretical fastest time, the more XP you get. That's interesting. And I think they've done a lot of those kind of simulation stuff where the way they calculate performance index, the PI, the car rating is also something like that. They like simulate something at the back and they use that data to like inform the system, okay, this is how much you pay, this is how high the ranking of your car. So they're doing that thing again. So yeah, that's weird. And even weirder is that if you want to purchase two cars of the same type and you say you want to you want to do a different build kan, that other
hmm?
car is technically another character. You have to level it up from scratch. You get
Oh,
a
yes.
discount for buying the same car, but you have to level it up from scratch. You have to like learn how to
Oh
drive
my
stock.
god.
I think this game's gonna be a grind fest. Unfortunately, it sounds nice at first when you think about, oh, this is how the way you can get like beginners to like learn how to drive cars around, and then you figure out that, oh no, this is going to be a slog for the people who knows how to drive cars. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh I mean they wanted to they made this decision because they know that people who play car games want car progression. Not a car just progression in general. But what we racing game fans wanted from a progression in the car game is that you start from a small grocery getter or whatever small car that you have kan. Let's say a Toyota Vitz or whatever. What's the starter car for GT7 again? The
The
Mazda
GT7 and the
Demio.
Mazda Demio. Yep.
Can okay, that small car, and then you work your way up, you get your money, to do upgrades or buy new cars, and then you work your way up into the Mazda 787B. That's the progression that you expect from a car game to a car game fan. But this Forza Motorsport is trying too hard to be Need for Speed for whatever reason. Because now that it's expected that you spend time with one car to level it up. It's weird, man. It's weird. How one stream kill off a lot of momentum for this interesting new game. I don't know, man. I'm not convinced with this one. Maybe it'll work out. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it will work out. So next game we shall talk about. It's actually not even a game. It's a game already released back in 2020, but we're gonna party it like it's 2023. It's Cyberpunk. It's their first, I think, an only DLC, Phantom Liberty expansion, whatever.
Like story expansion. Yeah,
Story
something.
expansion.
At least for now.
This one,
Is
but
this the only one they plan?
I think so because they're already like starting the pre-production for Orion, which is I think that's the next Cyberpunk.
Okay, for Project Orion. I see.
So
Yeah,
this is
Phantom Liberty.
Phantom Liberty. It was introduced by our boy, Mr. Keanu Reeves, and it is actually quite a substantial change because essentially this is a new game. They have changed the engine. They have changed. I think like combat as well. What I've seen the cuts from
Combat upgrades. I mean the skill tree. They
skill
change.
tree and all. Yeah, they have changed a lot of things in the Cyberpunk game. So by come September 14, this is a different game because I guess this is their way to test, unless I guess the final hurrah for the Ray engine, more or less, because The Witcher is going to be using Unreal. And okay, anything you want to ask, Anand? Since we both are excited for this one, I've already pre-ordered the expansion. Like
Yeah, I mean it's 100
3 months
ringgit.
ago. Yeah, I've already pre-ordered.
Yeah. I can't wait for the quality of life improvement, as in the upgrade tree and stuff, because I don't know, it's kind of weak and stupid in a sense. So I'm like, okay, I heard the rumors that they said they will change a lot of things when it comes to upgrades. I'm like, okay, nice. Then there's the uh stats, as in stats no longer tied to clothing articles.
Oh,
Thank
yep,
God.
yep.
I have to wear like ridiculous clothings just to make my stat good. But no, you can
Yeah.
just fashion however you like. They're gonna have like a different armor pieces used to
Yeah, yeah.
improve like, body stats. Yeah, that's good. And body upgrades and stuff. And of
And
course,
and the
expanding on the story, Phantom
yeah,
Liberty.
no. By the way, there's also this a thing that was in the Cyberpunk anime, but not in the game. You can actually go if you have too many mods on. You can actually get
Oh yeah,
cyberpsychosis.
yeah. People have been asking for that. As in, I mean, of this is also like part of the cyberpunk
Cyberpunk, yeah, law as well.
uh universe in general, not just cyberpunk, also in what's the other franchise again? Shadowrun.
Right.
As in,
Yeah.
if you have too much like cybernetics, it's gonna affect your humanity and your sanity. So you're gonna go cyber psycho in a sense. People have been asking for that element of immersion in Cyberpunk 2077. But yeah, they said it will come, is it?
It will be on that
It will.
expansion update as well.
Good.
Yes.
Good. Okay. They finally adding that to the gameplay.
I don't know. Like I'm interested because this is going to be expansion now. So let's say you already have all chromed up. Which I have like all my some of my characters I've like all chromed up, and one playthrough is just human. I don't use at all anything cybernetics, whatever. I wonder if, let's say, a player goes in there, will he get cyber cycle immediately, or it's like gradual, like in the show? Hmm.
Maybe something like gradual, as in occasionally the player will lose control of the character, and we just maybe when we're gonna go unconscious or just went ham, go ham.
Go ham, and then like it's only the next day. What happened? You just kill like 70 people.
Kira's like, oh, you're badass. You kill a
Badass, you
whole
just took.
town.
Yeah, you kill a whole police station like in Terminator. Yeah. Yeah, interesting. I am very interested in that one. Like that was really cool. It's coming out. It's not 14 actually. That is another game which we were talking about. It is coming out on 26th of September, which is very a foreshadowing of a very bad times because September October is gonna be the longest week for every video game fan or journalist as well. And the last thing that was interesting at this Xbox Game Showcase is this one game that is, I want to say, looks interesting. Tapi the publisher themselves is also interesting juga. It's a game called Jusant, Jusant.
Yep. It's a French word
The French
because
word, and
the
it is,
developers are
yeah, it's developed by Donut. So the guys and girls who have made, Life is Strange, the series essentially. And recently they have just remade the game for current gen consoles. So they've got the cash, the bag, as the youngest will say, and now they're making their own game, another game.
This will be the third game to be released by Don't Not this year.
Dang.
They have already released two. The last game, it was released like last 2 weeks. This will be the last of the three games that they're gonna release for 2023. Jusant or something like that.
Mm.
It's an action. No, it's not even action. It's kind of like a puzzle game where you climb up a mountain. The puzzle aspect is from the point of there are multiple paths to take, and then you have to like manage your stamina. So it's a rock climbing game where you figure out where the path goes. Interestingly, there's a demo on PC. You can try it out now.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Also, this is like many of the indie games that were showcased on the Xbox Game Showcase on Game Pass. So
Game Pass,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
Is one of the this sort of indie games is interesting, is weird. I may not be into it, but if it's $3.99, I will check it out. Just for the heck of it and see,
Yep.
maybe it'll be my thing, maybe it's not, but either way it will be an interesting thing to try. So yeah, that's about it. You saw.
The Song and the Xbox game showcase. Not bad. So a bit of our foibles. We go into a side parking valve to talk about the PC gaming show, which was I think like 4 hours after us, after the Xbox One.
Yeah, by that time I'm dead.
So there's two games that I will look that was interesting during this nice small bites of indie dev goodness. Is this one game called Exo Rally Championship? It's by an indie developer, I think like a small team, and I will compare to this game to. Do you remember the game Fuel, man? The Codemasters game where you have literally 1,000 kilometers of free road.
From the developers of the developer Asobo Studios that have went on to make Microsoft Flight Simulator and A Plague Tale.
Yeah. But this one is by an indie developer, but Exo Rally Championship is exactly the same premise, but you're in a foreign planet. You're racing against the time, essentially. So
Does
same premise, but planets instead of a big ass city
does that mean we
island.
can do space road trip?
Yeah. That from the trailer, kan, you can literally go into like a toxic radioactive water so that you can
On
save time.
Oh, nice. I like a toxic detour.
Yeah, and you have the hover thing from the maker of Mass Effect style of jumping things, so that more times can be seen. So I am interested in this one. 'Cause
Oh,
the
yeah.
land, yeah, the land looks interesting, and the topography and all. Mm, I I think we'll be a sleeper hit, yeah, in the racing genre, because this year racing fans, you're eating good. We have like six different games that we can choose. And the other one, the other racing game that I'm going to talk about is uh Rap Resistor. Yes, sorry, I didn't see the line there. Resistor. This is another car PG, by the way. It's a game about this girl. She is racing in a vehicular combat race championship where corpos have taken over, and according to developers No Way Home, they are inspired by Burnout Revenge. So you guess where how the vehicle combat does.
Oh, yeah. Traffic checking. Let's go.
Yep, takedowns, yeah.
Vertical takedowns.
Like racing games, guys. Racing fans, you have nothing to worry about. That's like there's so many games this year.
I guess quietly, 2023 is the year of the racing games as well.
So many good games. Like just I'm just looking at the trailer once again. You get takedown anywhere, like a side swipe takedown. I'm thinking like, ooh, this looks so good. So yeah, looking forward to that. And that is the PC Gamer Show. Yep, small and sweet.
Oh, before I forgot, it's not on the docket, but I should put. There's a one city builder game that was announced there. Nova Roma. Take a guess what it's about.
Was it?
Build a new Rome. It's a city builder in
No,
Rome. Nova Roma.
Nova Roma or no?
Nothing else to say. I just think that oh yeah, that's
It's a good
interesting.
name. Yeah, it's a
Mm.
good name.
I think there was a few city builders that are set in. Hold on, is it that game? One of the games called Civ City. By the way, I cannot. I should
Steve
remember.
City. Let me check.
Yeah, is that that there was a weird civilization spin-off that's called
Yes,
something that.
there's yeah, a Steve City Rome.
There you go. That's why. Okay, that's why. Because there was a time where people really make a lot of city builders, but theme around ancient times, like Pharaoh, and I guess Civ City Rome. That's one. That one's a weird one. Yeah, now more city builders, as if there aren't even not enough of them. I should also mention there was a City Skylines to reveal. Now that I mentioned
Yeah,
that.
on the Xbox. Yeah, on the
Mm,
Xbox. Yeah, the
So yeah, city builders are healthy. You have so many kinds to choose from. Whether it already released or still in early access, there's plenty of city builders. Oh yeah, now we can move on.
right. Next, we have the second last one. It is the Ubisoft Forward, where they go actually forward. Ha 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 ha.
Isn't it interesting that Ubisoft have been hyping up other games at other shows ahead of their own show? Like they didn't they are like special cool reveals here. Like again the previously mentioned Prince of Persia, right? They've revealed it at Summer Game Fest rather than here. They've
Oh,
shown
this is the
the
that's like the teaser, the appetizer
they've
that
shown
comes
Assassin's
3 days early.
they've shown Assassin's Creed Mirage quite a lot at the PlayStation showcase. And then they decide to show more here. And then the biggest surprise is the reveal of the Star Wars game Ubisoft is cooking from Massive Entertainment, which is just called Star Wars Outlaws. That was revealed at the Xbox showcase. And then they reveal gameplay here at Ubisoft Forward. Like that name, yeah. They really put forward a lot of games before their own show.
The
Yeah.
3 day appetizer. You will get hungry before you get to see the next game.
It's a weird way to promote. Yo, don't discount us. We still have good announcements. Please come and watch our cringy live stream that we are actually doing it live. Kan, they literally doing it live. It's like most of the showcases are like pre-recorded stuff.
Yeah, they're not
Maybe at
only one life. Yeah, that's the
as
real
at
one.
maybe as at Summer Game Fest lah. But you know, Summer Game Fest have their own, the production quality is expected lah. They do rehearsals, they've done award shows, and then you see Ubisoft here trying their best in that small hall, doing whatever. At least there's a
Phil
chance.
Spencer, yeah, with Phil Spencer just vibing behind there.
Yeah, with the on the foldable chair kan. At least they have the Just Dance beat, which is always a yearly treat to
The yearly
see.
tradition. Yeah, it is the E3 the E3 tradition. Even though we don't have E3.
You have to have a Just Dance beat. Okay, so what are the games?
All right. Besides Star Wars Outlaws, we have uh, this one game called Assassin's Creed. Weird
Which game?
We're game.
They
Oh,
showed
yeah.
three.
Oh yeah. I should be specific. I forgot.
They showed the mobile game. They showed the VR game.
Yeah, and Mirage, the console game.
Alhamdulillah, Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Alhamdulillah, I completed the mission.
Alhamdulillah.
Inshallah, I will assassinate this man.
Oh my god.
Weird
Yeah,
context, but okay.
it sounds so sketchy, but at the same time, like it's so badass. I don't know what to feel. Like,
And you know what? I think this game is also will have full Arabic localization. Can we have Arabic voiceovers on top of our normal English text? That would be rad. To just
that would be awesome.
Yeah,
just like how we play,
play standard essentially.
like how we play Japanese games, can or
Yeah,
games
cards
that.
and all. Yeah.
What are the games that offer their own native language for? I
Ghost of
cannot remember.
Tsushima.
Yeah, mostly are games made in Japan, but I'm thinking, are there other countries, other languages that do that? Not I can recall.
Atomic Heart, yeah, Atomic Heart is Russian.
There you go.
Technically.
There you go. Atomic Heart, yeah.
Atomic Heart.
Atomic Heart is there's a bold choice and then it's a good choice to have. Yes. Hey, hold on. Do our local games have full Malay VA by any chance? No.
No Street Road has no Street Road. I think it has Malay. Yeah.
Malay VA.
Yes.
Voiceover ada Malay VO kan.
I think so. Yeah.
Itulah, that's always nice to have. Like if you're from a language that people don't hear a lot, if you can have it localized in your native language and have it an option to play while the text is English, that's rad. Put it on and see. It's not just Japanese that people are interested. We gamers are interested of hearing. Oh, back to the point. Assassin's Creed Mirage looks like Assassin's Creed.
The first one.
Yeah, like like proper Assassin's Creed. The first one. The past three games were their open world RPG arc, and fortunately, it has concluded.
Yeah, now it's a return to form.
Yeah, the setting is of course on the nose lah. It's that period of time kan, during the Hashashins. But it's also the fact of there's more openness to how you approach the game. And the game is all about killing people. Yeah, it's in the title. You are an assassin. But the way that you can approach your assassination attempt in multiple ways is interesting. At least it is displayed like that.
Okay, we have this time the assassins are like the assuming the Arabs, I guess, Arabs, Muslims. Who will be the Templars? Are they the Christians?
Spicy.
We're gonna have a crusade here.
Yeah, we shall stop the crusade.
The timeline is during the Abbasid Caliphate.
Abbasid, okay.
So we are in Baghdad.
In Baghdad.
Yeah. So
Iraq.
A bit far away from the Levant. That was the first Assassin's Creed kan, which is literally in Jerusalem. So a bit further, but still around the ballpark of that timeline lah. Maybe after the Crusades. Is it then? The Abbasid is after the Crusades? I cannot.
I forgot. I think no, no,
Salahuddin?
because the Crusade is sort of like it's more on the Turkish side, I believe, because okay, they aiming for Jerusalem, and also the Turkish King Mehmet II, Muhammad Al-Fatih, that one also Jerusalem, I believe. So yeah, it's more on the Holy Land, not
Hmm.
so much on the Arab land, the Hijaz, not really.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
But still, at least back to the point, the vibe of the time is there again.
Mhm.
We're in the timeline.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so we have assassins in Baghdad. So I'm wondering which Khalifah they are under. Is it Al
Betul.
Muqtasim or Al Ma'mun or something? Because we have a few Khalifahs who was who were quite blatant in their like persecution,
Mm.
especially I believe there was Khalifah uh I forgot the name. No, Al Mutasim Billah.
Ooh.
There's one of it, like the Mu'tazilah clans, and the Mu'tazilah belief they're persecuting those not under them. So yeah.
Oh, now that you mention the deep cuts of that is actual real life law kan. I think
Yeah.
during that gameplay segment you can hear the incidental dialogue which says something about Ali's followers.
Oh yeah, Ali's follower. Yeah, those are the
Mm-hmm.
Mu'tazilah.
Ah, there you go.
Yo.
There you go.
No, 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 no. No,
Wow.
the Mu'tazilah is the berkecuali, the non-aligned,
Oh
because
my god.
the
Down the
Ali followers are the Shia.
yep, yep,
That's
yeah.
the Shia because the Shias are originally Ali's follower. Politically, they are a political group. So yeah, during the Mu'tazilah, uh, as in their power lah, their heights of power under support from the Caliph, they are persecuting the Ahli Sunnah wal Jamaah and even the Shia.
Ah, wow.
So yeah,
Okay.
so the Mu'tazilahs, I believe either Khalifah Al-Mu'tasim or like Al-Ma'mun. So these are the two prominent Khalifah of the Abbasid Caliphate. So Al-Ma'mun, Al-Mu'tasim Billah.
I'm
So
look
they are like during the Mu'tazilah heights of the support under the Khalifah.
I'm looking forward to see Ubisoft tackling this side of history because oh boy, this will be
Oh
interesting.
boy.
The Islamic political discourse will have a lot of things to see, which is interesting.
Oh
Hopefully,
boy.
people are. I mean, I'm optimistic, but you know how it goes. I will not be surprised if it catches some sort of controversy. Well, hopefully people will be like, oh, it shines a light on some parts of the world that most of people haven't heard much or haven't delved deep. We've
So,
seen a lot of Greek law,
mhm,
can.
yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm looking at the Wikipedia page here. So there's a period of they call event called Mihna, persecution of religious scholar in both Sunnis and Shias under Khalifah Al Ma'mun. Okay,
There you
so it's
go.
probably under his rule. So yeah, I
Eh,
don't know.
and then the assassins were all behind it. And, oh.
Yeah, I mean,
Nah, I'm doing my own thing.
I see. I mean,
dang, this is gonna be sensitive topic, man.
uh,
We'll see how
uh,
how they approach.
if they don't go too far into like the real life law at the very least I think they've confirmed like there's a mode where they go into the historical facts of the locations.
Mhm.
There are like historical buildings in the game in the world. So at least you can do that. You can do your they haven't confirmed the virtual tour thing like the other games that have done kan. But at least we know that some of the buildings there are recreated historically. Actual
Yeah, they
buildings
can do
that were
that.
there.
They can definitely do that.
At least just having a building is not shouldn't still too much of a problem. Yeah, Mirage is looking sick. It looks like Assassin's Creed. It got me interested. At least during the now that we are in the post Hitman world, we should have another game about killing people.
Yeah. Stealth killing.
Yes, that's killing kan.
Thing.
They do in some sort of way they do sit in the same they should have a shared audience in some ways. What else to talk about?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, we have AC Nexus.
what's it next? Yeah, the VR thing was
Not that one
interesting.
AC Nexus. But
Hmm.
yeah, just
Oh my
CGI.
god,
Just
the
CGI
CCI.
promo. Yeah, it's nothing. Anyway.
I,
Oh, is
I
it
guess for what?
was it a surprise that AC Codename Jade is a mobile game? I don't know.
Nope,
So,
nope.
Yeah, I'm sort of half expect.
Oh, I think they already announced it. It was going to be a mobile game like
oh, it
way
was
back.
eh. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So I guess in that sense, I guess this looks like your AC equivalent of the Division Resurgence, which is
Yep.
launching real soon. Yan. They're doing we're putting out a very cool looking game that looks nice, really nice, but it's on mobile devices.
Oh yeah, and lastly, I think we can talk about the Crew Motorfest, and it looks amazing.
Oh, you mean Forza Horizon?
Maybe Forza Horizon by Ubisoft.
Ubisoft Original. Forza Horizon Ubisoft Original.
Ooh, like I am actually very excited for this one. Like the cinematic, just so. Like here's Hawaii. Look at this. There's a loop de loop. Yeah. You can go off road. Yeah. It's an F1 car. Okay. So easy.
Yeah, I think that they took the right lessons from Forza Horizon and do it their own way. They have bikes, they have ATVs.
Yeah, I can. The thing kan they did the summit thing where every week is a different one. Now they've incorporated into their story, their career campaign as well. So like this flavor, oh, you have to have a Japanese car to do this events. Kind of like a certain series.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Very familiar. I see.
Classic cars, yeah, you can drive the Monte Carlo, the big boy.
Oh,
So yeah, it looks very interesting so far. The handling, I think, from what I've seen from like previews, is much better than the previous games. And
okay.
if and the best part, and if you have, oh, this one looking at you, Froza. Every time you have to collect a car, you can import your car list from the crew into Motorsport.
That is interesting. Instead of like start from scratch again, hey, we reward you loyal players of the crew too. Bring up all your cars back here. That's interesting. Which also
Yeah.
proves that this sort of stuff where your collection of items can be moved, but it's moved from game to game, but it's a game per game basis. Tech bros will need to know about this. We now have
Mm,
a recent example of this.
the Pokemon of racing games confirmed.
Yeah, that's another way to do that. Yeah. Pokemon. Yeah. Gonna
502, yeah, I have 512 cars.
gonna import them all. Uh, yeah, if what you say is true about the handling, which was my detriment for enjoying the crew too, might give it a try.
Yeah,
Sure. Mm.
that's coming in September 14. God, oh my god, everything's coming out in September.
Uh, and there's at least one game that on this list, one more game that's not coming out this year. It's coming out next year. We've mentioned it.
So,
It's Star Wars Outlaws.
yep. Oh
I
yeah,
think
Avatar as well coming out.
forget about Avatar. That's just Far Cry.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said with my
It's
friends when we
literally
watched that trailer. Yeah, this is Far Cry.
it's literally Far Cry again. Like you can play it
No, no,
multiplayer. It's a first person.
no, no. You asked the question. Can we see the map? Do you want to see the map? Is it a one-to-one creation of Cuba? The last time they did a spin-off game, they reused the
Mm.
map.
I mean, to their credit, like at least this is massive working. So the the tech is also different. They're using the Snowdrop engine. So either
Oh,
that
not the
they're
dunya.
gonna
Okay,
do
yeah, yeah, not the dunya.
so
Okay,
at least they're gonna create new assets lah.
assets.
Unless they can import the map of Cuba into
With the
Snowdrop
engine,
or
yeah.
whatever lah. Itu lah, in terms of gameplay, I'm not interested. People who are there people who are Avatar fans, like James Cameron Avatar fans, the blue one.
Ada?
If they are
Why do you
fans
think it's
of
always
that,
black?
look, if they are the fans of that, I think this game might be for them lah, because the way they sell the visuals kan, the exoticness of no, the planet is called Pandora, kan? Pandora,
Pandora, yes.
yeah, the exoticness of Pandora and the plight of the Navi people who are fighting back against the white colonists.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, true, true, true.
Technically, because they are what we seen, they are all white. So okay, fight back the colonists. So
Take back
and
the
they
power, as usual.
and they got a very good in real law reasons that you can also use normal guns. Oh, God
Yeah, you
damn.
were kidnapped at birth, and now you can use American guns. Yeehaw!
Eh. Uh, but now because of your training with those foreigners, now you are seen as an outcast. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's why you're always
Mm.
solo. See,
Mm.
lore.
At least if it all works out, it will be a competent Far Cry game.
I just want to see the map. I just want to see the
Uh,
map. That's all. That's all. Ubisoft, please.
l- like I'm not interested because I feel like I don't want to play another Far Cry game. But if the game's good, the game's good. Okay, fine. Uh, but Star Wars Outlaws, by the way, that doesn't look like an Ubisoft, a normal typical Ubisoft game. That looks interesting. Maybe because I'm on the highs of after playing Star Wars Jedi again, and then I see, oh yeah, you have a hero and another companion at the back of your character on another adventure. But instead of lightsabers, you have blasters.
You have guns.
Instead of like a very stoic and probably boring character, she's quipping a little bit, and is horrible at the work. She punches something and her hands hurt.
Lama tak? Yeah, it's been a while
Hmm.
since we played an actual rookie.
Kan, I just want to be she looks like a scrapper of an outlaw. I'm good. Yeah, let's go. That's a character
So
that's interesting.
Mr. Gulmon sold me. Okay,
Mm.
thank you. I'll take that.
Yeah, and there's also like instances of, oh, you can make decisions, huh? Do you want to bribe the Empire officer or not? And the gameplay we saw is say, nah, we're not paying you. And then you leave the cantina, and then the wanted bar goes up.
Whoop.
Literally, TIE fighters
Oh,
are waiting for you when you go exit to space. Oops. Oops. Yeah, some people are comparing it straight to GTA, which is weird, but I guess.
I get it. Yeah, I get it as well.
I mean, you play as an outlaw, you play as a smuggler, a renegade. So I can see the comparisons, but we'll see lah. I'm not sure how they define open world when you can go to space and go to different planets. Is that it?
Open planet.
I don't
Open
know lah
planet.
what the definition of open world in this context, but you get to see that you can ride a speeder around. They've confirmed at least two different planets that you can do your stuff there, and we've seen like gameplay where you sneak around and then you start blasting, cause you have to use the blaster. Yeah, it doesn't feel like I'm trying to like slot in. Is it a Far Cry game? Not necessary. Is it Division? The cover is not like hardcover, so I don't know where to slot into the typical Ubisoft formula, which is a good thing. At least for now, lah. At least for now, from what we being shown. Maybe it turns out good. Maybe it's another Ubisoft blend game. We don't know, but at least it looks promising for now.
So it's the Ubisoft show.
Mm-hmm.
And next we have Capcom as well. They're going forward.
You know that
What's
most of the there's two big announcements from Capcom. One is another Exo Primal beta, which also leads into the collaboration thing with Street Fighter 6, which they announced at Summer Game Fest. And the end of that showcase is that they showed more of Dragon's Dogma 2, which they earlier showcased at the PlayStation showcase. Again, they're doing the Ubisoft thing. So we didn't learn too much more about those two announcements, about those two games. I mean, Exo Primal, we did learn a lot. But what more do you want to know? Other than, oh yeah, there's a story trailer. There's gonna be post-launch content. But we'll see lah. That dino busting game is maybe now that I think of it, this is a multiplayer game, a PvP/PvE game, and it has story mode.
Ooh.
Think about it. And also, I should mention that some people are comparing it with either Anthem or Overwatch. I'm just gonna put it there. Exo Primal might have the better solution for Overwatch's weird solution for having a story mode. So at least that game has something to go for right now. It used to be like, it's just another Overwatch sort of game, team game. But when you consider the situation with that game, he's having it right now. Maybe Capcom has something that can do interesting stuff. Oh, another announcement which doesn't really isn't really a big one, but it was the delay of Pragmata.
Pragmata, yeah.
Yeah, that game. That game was revealed in 2020, targeting a release in 2022, which then gets delayed to 2023, which then gets delayed to who knows. We have no idea. The note says very sorry.
Very sorry.
At least they were honest. Like, okay lah, we do not know how long until we get a release date. This game is still needs to be cooking. I don't know. At least we see Big Daddy and Little Girl again, and we see that Big Daddy shoots guns. So it looks like I don't know where to put what sort of game this is. But as long as it is a game, it will be much better than that PS4 game that eventually became vaporware.
Dang.
Because that game was also announced on the release of a new PlayStation console but never released. I hope Pragmata doesn't end up the same fate as Deep Down.
Rest in peace, deep down.
Deep. Nobody
Deep
came.
down,
Nobody came and dig it. It went too deep.
Oh, yo.
Well, nothing too exciting from Capcom Showcase, but they have stuff to show, I guess. Dragon's Dogma looks cool. Yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2. They showed that there is a new race. The game's equivalent to the Khajiit. I forgot they put a name there for that race, but I forgot. But it's not called Khajiit, by the way.
Kachi has wares.
They have coins.
The question is, can you make a furry character? Hopefully we can.
The answer is yes.
And then you can create your furry companion and then recruit 2 other furry companions made by other players who also use furry companions. Make a full furry party. And I guess that leads to the miscellaneous announcements from not E3. Stuff that was announced or revealed or something happened in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, bit more like Armored Core, maybe.
Ah,
Actually, Armored Core.
okay. We
Sure,
talk.
Armored Core.
Yeah. We talking about that AC.
That AC, not
Uh-huh.
Assetto Corsa, not Assassin's Creed, not Animal Crossing.
We've talked about
Uh,
Assassin's Creed already. Conveniently enough kan. So there was no Assassin's Creed 6 trailer being showcased at any of the live streams, but there was a behind closed doors preview event, and the impressions just like released recently. What we learned so far is that there are stuff that makes people who played Armored Core before will remember as, yeah, that's Armored Core, that's Armored Core. And then there are some changes where people say, hold on, you said that this game doesn't have souls like elements before. Hold on. So this is some like nitty gritty stuff lah, because we see a lot of like B-roll footages here and there kan.
Mhm.
So some fans have noticed that the the mecha you piloting, your armored core, they don't feel slow anymore. That there is like there's a moment in one of the B-roll footages where the AC like snaps, turn very very fast. You don't turn very very fast in Armored Core, but this feels like
oh.
you. It's like when you play something like a Dark Souls or an Elden Ring, kan, where you just the character is facing forward and then you push the right analog stick and then they immediately turn right, kan. That's how the Armored Core behaves. That like puts people like, oh no, oh. Some of
Oh.
the OG Armored Core fans are now like they are sitting right now as we speak. They are not comfortable. They feel threatened in some ways. There's also like information about the missions will be long, which is interesting because most missions in Armored Core, at least the Armored Cores I played, which is the third gen Armored Core 3, Silent Line until Last Raven kan. Those missions can range from 2 minutes to 5 minutes. It is short. The most of the game you just go into the garage tinkering with what parts should I put. That's the 2 hours that you're gonna spend for prepping the mission, and the mission is just like 5 minutes and then done. But this time around, more than ever, I think Armored Core 5 also have long missions, but Armored Core 6 also have long missions to the point that you will have to use repair kits to repair your Armored Core. So this is also like, oh no, Estus Flask. Some people are now like on watch now. Hopefully they are fine. Hold on, Sabo, relax. This is like game changing stuff that is being revealed. But at least and then there's also the reveal that even during missions, if you die, you get to reset to a checkpoint rather than having a mission fail. Which is interesting because some of the games you can fail a mission, and if you fail that critical mission, it's actually a game over. You start over. You start from your last save. That's evil. And I don't think would fly into these video games if they done that. So you can restart at this checkpoint, but before you start into the checkpoint, you can go back to the garage into assembly mode and tinker with your armor core. Maybe you die because of the weapons you equip are wrong, or you don't have enough AP, you don't have enough health for that fight. Tinker it with your mecha for a bit, and then you go back to the checkpoint and then go fight that boss again. Interesting change. Interesting. So there are aspects of Armored Core 6 that may not jive with the what we see so far lah. May not jive with the usual things you expect from Armored Core. But then again, each major entry for Armored Core will always be having like weird changes. The jump from Armored Core 3, where it's all like slow, smaller scale battles, and then to Armored Core 4 where you literally boost to 999 kilometers an hour over vast empty spaces to reach that big fortress as a boss fight. Those are two disparate gameplay elements. And I guess AC6 will have something like that in store for us lah. But come on man, at least the assembly parts looks like Armored Core. You still have different manufacturers. You still have to balance numbers. It just does not look as intimidating as before. The only difference is that you don't get to equip your radiator. There is no radiator part anymore. That was the fun thing. You have to change your AC cooling. No, not aircon cooling, but which is actually an interesting mechanic though, because you know if your AC heats up and then you trigger basically poison, and your health will tinker down and will deplete slowly as your heat stabilizes, the temperature stabilizes. I don't know if they just remove the mechanic or they just push it somewhere else, but that's an interesting observation lah. Still though, looks like Armored Core. That's fine.
It's fine.
Fine. If you find an OG Armored Core fan, just give pat their back, give them a shoulder to cry on, and hopefully they'll be okay. They'll be okay and get to play this game later this August. Maybe it won't be that much of a Sekiro or Armored Core 6. We'll see lah. At least it's a mecha game still.
And I guess the last two of the not E3 is the unhingedness of did not only Devolver and Grasshopper as well. Grasshopper. Oh my god. I don't know. Grasshopper was much more funnier.
Yeah lah. But the weird the both of these interesting shows, I'm not sure what they are showing.
That was the best part. That was the best part.
Like at least before and like previous Devolver Directs, at least there's at least one game that I'm looking at it. Oh yeah, that looks interesting. This year is a little bit it's not hitting it. I mean, they did announce a literal walking simulator, which is
But the guy
fun.
was caught,
the 3D co-op.
Yeah, it's 3D co-op by the maker of co-op and Bennett 4Ds. Getting over it. It's literally Bennett 4D again. You want a walking simulator? Fine.
You get a literal walking simulator.
You thought Death Stranding was a walking simulator? Let me prove you wrong. Okay. I mean, baby steps. We take baby steps to get there. That's the game. That's the game's theme. Yeah, it's nothing like it's not like I think because last year was so good, a lot of different disparate games that have different demographics targeted. So this one feels like at least the jokes about the AI is good though, and it ends up into a horror. Because of course, Devolver show will end up into a horror show. It's just the natural.
the nature way of order, essentially.
And I guess Suda 51's appearance as Mecha Suda 51 has rubbed into Grasshopper because Grasshopper Direct is just as unhinged. Even less clearer what they were announcing. Oh, we're gonna show Shadows of the Dam remaster coming to consoles. All consoles. Probably.
Maybe tengoklah. Tengoklah.
Tengok. And then the show was stopped by literal bake-in ads. Twice. And I thought they was supposed to be for games, but no, it was just like lampooning something. Like in jokes, like and the actual reveal of the game is just like you get to see the pause screen. off screen, there's the game running. You get to see a main menu. The character protagonist is being blurred out. Suda 51 was standing very strategically to block the camera from seeing it, and you just see some UI, and that's it. That's the game reveal. That's the new game. What the hell?
Don't worry about it. Essentially, don't worry about it.
Grasshopper being real. So what's the last bit?
Last one is, oh yeah, this one is interesting. This last one is about an indie showcase that was actually saved by No Clip and Gerard the Completionist, a YouTuber, because their live event got cancelled by their version of Majlis Pembadaran, essentially the city council.
Mhm.
So instead of like wasting the time, they brought over all of the developers or to the completionist punya studio for 4 hours, and it becomes if you watch the stream, it becomes unhinged around the end. Yeah, here's our game slaps. It is like it's a game. It's so weird. There's a very good documentary by New Clip showcasing what they did, but it was so funny.
Like literally slapdash
Yes, a
because of the
slapdash.
circumstances. Uh, Somehow.
That I think that embodies the E3 spirit much more better than E3 themselves. Even a slapdash punya slapdash live stream is much more better than E3 what E3 has done.
And I guess the moral of the story is we really don't need E3 anymore. At least
Jeff
from the
Keighley was
consumer
right.
side. I mean that the real value of E3 is all the trade what you call it, the meetings for the game industry people, like
The networking.
the networking, the B2B stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it is supposed to be a B2B event, but it's somehow like leaked into the consumer because oh, this is the best time to like showcase all the big announcements. And then live streaming became a thing, and then now becomes a pompous show of extravagance. And that evolution, I guess, led to surprise, surprise, the death of E3. We go, oh, why do we need to be under the E3 umbrella when we can do it on our
We can just
own?
literally, yeah, we can literally just slapdash one right here, right now.
Uh, why do we need to pay tax, the pay tax, to pay the privilege to be showcased in this show, when we can make our own show? But yeah, and the result of not having an E3 is this sort of thing lah. It's a mess everywhere. Everyone is want to stream something. Everyone wants to announce something. There's a lot of games. If you could imagine, there were a lot of games being announced.
Are you saying there are too many games?
And on that note, I think we have to wrap it up.
Yep.
hmm The 2 hour mark is already hit. So yeah, it
Oh,
was
nice. Yeah, we
too
covered
many.
everything. Yeah, essentially we covered everything. Nice.
Everything else doesn't matter lah. There are other games that we have either glossed over or didn't go into our radar, but this should be a good enough look into the games that we are interested in checking out more into the future. Whether they will be good or not is another question, but we sure are invested in seeing these games.
Yep.
How do we wrap it up? No thumbnails. We'll do some generic not E3 thumbnail for this one, I guess. So, I guess straight to the social links lah. It's the end of the show, man. It's the end of the show.
Yep.
Hmm.
You can, I guess I will go first. You can follow me on twitter.com at FL4KY. Since we're really super serious, you can watch or not watch. Sorry, you can read my review on F123. That's out now. The pipeline, maybe a game about Diablo 4, maybe a review, perhaps. Yeah,
Apps.
perhaps. Anan?
Okay, my turn. You can also find me on Twitter. Drop me DR4UPN1R, DR4UPN1R. Nothing in plan right now. Mac?
And I am Amirul Mekronos Ashraf, Mekronos. Find me there on Twitter. Has it been 6 months we've been running the joke of somehow Twitter is still alive?
Yeah.
Somehow it's
Even the
still
dad joke is
Human.
old now.
6 months. It's somehow still hanging on. Find me there on Twitter. Stuff coming up. I think there's a lot of stuff coming up. I think I've done the demo impressions for Final Fantasy 16. There should be a review of Street Fighter 6 coming out around the time you hear this episode of the podcast. And there's more to come. There's more games. At least for now, end of June is a bit busy, but by July, we're gonna relax a bit. Maybe we catch up on some games before the madness that is September be upon us. So anyway, that's it for Not E3 2023 edition. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you have new games to look forward to. And that's it. This has been Dialogue, the Gamer Matters podcast, and
Video games.